Yeah, hey everybody, this is Ian from Mindful Marketplace. In this really quick video, I'm just going to show you how to transfer your domain from GoDaddy to an external registrar. In this case, I'm using Google, and the reason is it's a lot cheaper, right? So to renew our domains with GoDaddy, at least the .coms, and we have hundreds, it's like I think it's 17.99 now. I think it's 18.17 with tax, whereas on Google or with Google, it's like $12, right? So over the course of many domains, it's much less expensive. So I'm actually going to show you the last step first, which is I've already set up the domain. In this case, it's this one here. It's called SitHead. You can see it's transfer in progress, and this expired today. Actually, I'm recording this in the beginning of April. This expired at the very end of March. Let's see if I can find. No, not that. Not that. Here it is. All right. So right here at the top, after you're done with the process that I'm going to walk through in a second, you have to do this one last thing, which is go to transfers, and then you'll see transfers in, transfers out, pending transfers. And it's this one here. We're going to click on this here, and you're going to accept transfer. And this just expedites the process of doing all of this, because they actually make you go through like an extra step, which sort of sucks a little bit. I actually like GoDaddy. GoDaddy gets a lot of um, gets a lot of sort of hate or a lot of sort of disparaging kind of commentary. But I find them quite helpful whenever I need help, whenever I've called in. They're always exceptionally receptive to helping. But so essentially, if we go back to domains, let's see if that's been updated. And it still says transfer in progress. This is actually the email that they sent you. They sent me. They shouldn't send it to you, obviously, because it's my domain. If they send it to you, then I'm in deep, deep trouble. So they make you do this one last thing, which is a pain in the ass, right? So we got your domain transfer request on April 2nd. We're ready to move. They want you to do one last thing, which is you got to like, you don't have to, but to expedite it, they want you to do what I just did, which is do that final like acceptance thing. So even after you've taken the initial steps to move the domain to another registrar, again, in this case, Google, they still want you to like, double check that that's actually what you want to do, which I find somewhat annoying. All right, so let's go back to domains for a second. And this is just this is my personal account actually, so I don't have that many domains in here, but let's see what we can find. Actually, that's now gone. So let me find something that's expiring soon. That's a .com. This actually I let go. I don't really want this. I'm not going to renew this domain actually, but I'm just going to show you the process so that you can do it. This is called Crisis Proof Your Practice, and actually this is something I registered at the very beginning of the pandemic because we were going to do an ebook for our clients on therapists and people who are offering services in the world, how to sort of crisis proof their practice in light of the fact that we are all in this giant crisis. All right, so let's really quickly show you how to do this. You're going to go to transfer domain to another, actually to out away from GoDaddy. Transfer domain to another GoDaddy account is only something that would be germane if you had another GoDaddy account, which we do as well. So that's a process that I've done a number of times as well. But if you transfer domain away from GoDaddy, you'll see they'll give you this sort of warning, you don't want to do this. Do you really want to do this? Sort of, kind of thing. And then you're going to continue a transfer. And here's the salient piece. They're going to generate an authorization code. Now, I'm not going to use this because I'm not transferring this domain. I'm not renewing this domain. So if you want this domain, anyone out there in the world watching, feel free to grab it. But what you would do is you'd copy this authorization code here, and then you'd go back to, let's say, Google in this case, and apply it there. All right, so let's see if I can go back to this. And again, all you're going to do is copy this to the clipboard. You're going to go to Google or wherever it is that you're transferring. There may be different parameters with different registrars, but all I've used is, I've used Namecheap and a bunch of others as well. But recently, that I can speak intelligently about, I've only used GoDaddy and Google. So you copy this set of digits, and then you go back to Google and you input the name of the domain, and then it'll tell you that the domain is either locked or unlocked. Generally, if you start the process before you unlock it, Google will tell you, or the registrar will tell you, it can't be transferred yet until you get this authorization code. As soon as you get this authorization code and paste it into the registrar's the appropriate box at your registrar. Again, in my case, Google. It's very clear. It's right there on the screen. You paste that in, and it's done, and it's literally finished. And then you get the email that I just showed you. You get several emails from GoDaddy. You get a payment confirmation from Google, which I did prior to recording this, and you save money, right? Because if I would have renewed this with GoDaddy, it would have been like $18 and change, and with Google it was $12. So that's a significant difference if you have 10 domains, a month that you're doing this for. Moving them to Google is, for me, cost effective, or it's just financially intelligent, because a lot of these domains I'm not even really using, and I'm just holding, and just to keep wasting money on renewals that especially GoDaddy has increased their prices fairly significantly over the years that I've been using them. Again, I like GoDaddy. I'm in the minority, but I really find them to be a pretty helpful organization when I've needed their help. So I can't say anything disparaging other than their prices suck. So anyway, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, I'm going to post this in our community, so feel free to ask there. If you're watching this on something like YouTube, hopefully this has been helpful. All right, thank you so much. Again, Ian from Mindful Marketplace. Thanks again, and have a good night.